What's their game of bullshit where I just express how I feel and then they just take my expression of how I feel and then they attribute it, throw it at someone and blame someone and just make up a name, say blah blah blah. He said it about you when I didn't say it about anyone because I don't know who this shitbag is committing these crimes, but whoever they are need to go to prison. So I didn't say a name. So if they claimed I did, don't fall for it. But if she's involved with that, yeah, she needs to go to prison. If her sister's involved with that, she needs to go to prison. If PH is involved with that, she needs to go to prison. If JB is involved with that, he needs to go to prison. If MS is involved with that, she needs to go to prison. Whoever's involved with this repeated accounts of sexual violence and repeated sexual assault, and then attempting murder on me to cover it up and trying to induce psychosis in me with neurosurgeries to cover it up so that they can perpetuate their cycle of sexual violence and abuse, they need to go to prison. It's really a no-brainer. So if someone actually knows who these weirdos are, who think they're above the law for some reason, someone needs to throw them in prison. And let me put it this way. If these guys are blackmailing people to prevent them from doing their job, every option should be weighed and every option should be considered because we need people to be able to do their jobs. We need people to be able to protect people from terrorists. We need people to be able to protect people from rapists. We need people to be able to protect people from murderers and people stealing trillions of dollars and people putting trillions of dollars in terrorists and rapists and murderers' hands. So every option should be weighed and measured and find the most appropriate approach. But I'm getting fed up with this nonsense because these people should have been in prison a long time ago. So I'm trying to figure out who these people are who are supposed to uphold the law, who are not. Because if I was a lawman, these people would have been in prison in year one. They would have been in prison a long time ago. So I'm trying to understand why these guys aren't. Basically, who are these corrupt shitbags overseeing this? As these people should have been in prison a long time ago. So who's accepting bribes to look the other way and endangering the integrity of the legal system? Who are these guys who are putting the dollar over duty, who are demonstrating more than unprofessional behavior and endangering humanity while they're putting their selfish agendas first over the agendas of their duty, such as defending humanity and defending the citizens of America from evildoers who promote sexual violence and finance sexual violence, who promote breaches of Nuremberg Code and highly illegal, unethical, inhumane human experimentation. It should tell you they're not doing research. Like what I was saying earlier, these guys are not doing research. They're not doing underground human research for the betterment of humanity. They don't even know how to do research. They don't even know how to do it. They don't even know how to collect honest data. They're using this technology for betting manipulation and terrorist agendas and espionage and other crimes. They're not doing research. They're just pretending to. And that's part of their terrorist plot and terrorist agenda. So they get people behind it. They show you something fascinating, something novel. And that's how they intrigue you. And then they try to sell this idea of doing cutting edge research. Oh, it's the betterment of man, blah, blah, blah. But that's the disguise. What these people are really doing is trying to intrigue you, show you the tech, try to get you behind it, maybe invest in it. Maybe, maybe even invest in it and maybe get you in a hand tying hold or even make you think everything's good. They're doing cutting edge research. They're exploring the human mind. They're exploring consciousness. They're exploring the nervous system and its reactions, but they're really not. They're what they're exploring is how to torture people covertly and abuse people covertly. They're exploring how to make people look psychotic. They're exploring how to damage the brain covertly. And they're finding ways to try to get these devices in people's brains and bodies so that they can hold them hostage covertly, abuse them covertly, commit economic espionage, whether through covert means or through covert abuse and demanding information. So that's a component of their terrorist plot. These guys love disguises. They love to disguise themselves as greater good. They love to disguise themselves as altruistic. They like to disguise a terrorist plot as cutting edge research. And they can trick you it is because the technology is fascinating. I'm a victim. Pretty cool, but at the same time, it's also very dangerous. And there's a lot of consequences. And, this technology in the hands of these control and domination people is very dangerous because they have zero respect for human life. What I've been noticing, they're very impulsive and they are desperate. So that's part of why they're impulsive. And they act without thinking of consequences. And they conspire to terrorist plot. They conspire to put these devices in people's brains and rape mankind of their free will. And I'm a victim of how they use the technology. And I've been a victim of various different Illuminatis or whatever they call themselves, these guys using this technology, or at least different guys within the Illuminati that use this technology. I would say 99% of them use it for evil espionage, economic espionage, IP theft, data theft, covert abuse, trying to make people look psychotic, threatening them, slandering them, trying to frame them, and it's all negativity, nothing positive. 99% of these people I'm a victim of. So that's a key point. And yeah, don't be tricked. They're not doing cutting edge research. If they were, they would know how to collect. They would know if you're doing cutting edge research, you'd know the importance of collecting honest data. If you're doing cutting edge research, you'd understand the importance of getting informed consent, because when you have informed consent, there's certain things you can do with the patient or the subject, and you can take your research to the next level if you have compliance from the subject, which they don't because they never had informed consent. You can also talk to the subject one-on-one and learn more about the technology if you have informed consent, which they don't. So that should tell you they're not doing cutting edge research, because there's certain avenues one would take if they were doing cutting edge research, and certain precautions and certain things they would do if they were doing cutting edge research. They're not. They're trying to carry out a terrorist plot. They're using this technology for abuse and negativity, political abuses of psychiatry. They're using it for data theft, economic espionage, and espionage, amongst other things, financial crimes, banking crimes. So I would look into this. These people are not great or good. They, like I said, these people aren't the type of people who should be doing human research, especially about the mind. As, like I said, they demonstrate a complete lack of respect for human beings, and they have inhuman insensitivity. I mean, they actually try to abuse the subject. If you're doing human research of the mind and seeking understanding, you don't want to abuse the subject and insult the subject and abuse them and try to make them closed. You want them to be open. You want to learn. You want it to be a sharing experience. Yeah, I mean, who's falling for these guys' bullshit that they're doing human research of the mind? I mean, these people are repulsive. Who are the idiots who'd even put money in these people's hands? They'd have to be retarded. These are literally the most disgusting people in the world. I would never let anyone involved with this anywhere near a human being's mind or privacy of their consciousness. You'd have to be crazy. They're so immature, so highly insensitive. They should never be anywhere near the consciousness, something as sacred and private as the consciousness of a human being's mind. They're like, oh my God, you'd have to be crazy to let someone like this around a human being's brain and their consciousness. You'd have to be crazy. So I don't know who these idiots are that they're letting these morons around people's brains, but these people are some of the most repulsive people in the world. And some of the, just like I said, inhumane insensitivity, so close-minded, no openness, no understanding, just these weirdos, just, not the type of people you want anywhere near human beings and doing research with human beings, especially studies of the mind. You'd have to be a moron to hire these people. Let me put it that way. So whoever's putting this technology and letting them do research, these idiots, is a fucking idiot. He needs to arrest these people. Anyone putting money into these guys' hands are fucking morons. Don't. They're such the wrong people to do this sort of research. It's scary. Bet my life on it.